Hey guys, this is Pato Award, and you're listening to Indie Sports Podcast. And or what is that? Is that what it's called? Is that
That's
right?
that's perfect.
Or did I say something wrong?
No, trust me, man. I mean, I can edit all this. It's no
What
problem.
is
You
it?
can
What is it again? Indie Sports Podcast or what?
The
the
Indie Sports Car Podcast.
Indie Sports Cars Podcast.
nice. Yeah. If you want to try it again, go ahead.
Hi guys, I'm Pato Award, and you're listening to the Indie Sports Car Podcast.
Welcome, ICP fans, to another episode of the Indie Sports Car Podcast. Hey, is it
Hello, hello.
Christian?
Did you forget my name for a second? I'm feeling good here in the racing capital of the world, Indianapolis, Indiana, on July the 4th Eve.
When they're listening to it, I would say it's July 4th.
Yes, it is. Happy Independence Day to everyone. USA.
Actually, it's supposed to be July 2nd. That's when the Constitution was really signed and written and signed.
That is true. That is true.
Thank you.
Yeah. But happy Independence Day to everyone.
Well, yeah, and did I read somewhere that this will be your first fireworks show in a while?
Well, no. Last year was the first one where I was able to start to be able to enjoy the fireworks. But this year, I believe I am fully acclimated and I'm ready to fully enjoy the fireworks. As I'm planning on them not reminding me of mortar attacks.
Yeah, I read that. I'm like, that is crazy, but I'm happy that you were able to come this far to enjoy fireworks again, because they are enjoyable.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Yeah, whistling sounds and loud bangs at the end of it just never.
I'm just saying, it's a big deal when I'm proud of you. That's all.
Well, thank you, man. Thank you. And I hope all of the other veterans out there who suffer from some form of PTSD or another can find the healing that they need as well. One step at a time.
It's just proof that it is possible.
Indeed it is.
It's possible to come back, and it's one step at a time, obviously. But Christian is inspiration. That's all I got to say.
Thank you, man. I'm starting to feel normal again. It's good. Yeah, it's cool.
Well, that's all. That's kind of what I wanted to get to. Is you're an inspiration to a lot of people, man.
Well, thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Definitely. Alrighty. Well, so happy Independence Day to everybody, and if you're going now, I mean, New Jersey, we're only allowed to have snakes and sparklers.
Snakes?
Not true. We're not allowed to buy fireworks.
We are like chicken wing, or kickin' wing. We're like kickin' wing. From Joe Dirt. Remember that? Of course you don't. Missy, do you remember Kickin' Wing? You remember Kickin' Wing, right? From Joe Dirt.
You're asking me. I really
remember Joe Dirt
really
went for like 5 minutes about you. Come on, man, you don't have any Husker do's, Husker don'ts, and David Spade went on a diatribe.
It was a stupid movie.
It was great.
Stupid.
He's like, I got this car and everything, and the girl's like, all right, I'm your sister, but she goes, well, where's your kid? And he goes, I'm having a footprint gas pedal installed right now, so I got this. It's funny. good stuff. Joe Dirte, you ain't French. Love Joe Dirt. I mean, so yeah, Jersey, yeah, snakes and sparklers. That's all we get. But however, if you're able to get the good stuff, just be safe, be careful. Please. Yep.
Thumbs are important to drive with.
Yes, you need your thumbs.
They are. You don't need any. What was that guy from the Giants? Jason Pierre-Paul. We don't need any more of those situations.
Oh yeah, I forgot all about that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So yeah, no blowing your hands off.
Yeah,
and then trying to
NFL.
And then trying to tell the Giants that I just sprained my wrist and wrapping it up during training camp. Don't do that. don't do that.
Exactly. So if you take anything away from this ICP show, if you are an NFL wide receiver, do not, blow your hands off. So moving on.
Gotta go for any IndyCar driver.
Actually,
you guys probably need those.
Yeah.
So to drive.
And if you're a driver, exactly. If you are a driver, IndyCar, or NASCAR, go ahead, do whatever you want. But IndyCar, or the like, be careful because you need those. You need those guys there to paddle shift and all that. It's important. You need to hold down the button so you can complain a lot, like Graham does on the radio. So Graham Rahal really needs to be careful because, he needs to be able to complain about every single driver that passes him. Anyway, so, or, like Rossi should be really careful so he can, say, wow, I was that good? I didn't realize I was that good. So, yep.
There you go.
Yep. Or Joseph Newgarden, your boy, he needs all his digits. So we can go, wow, Rossi's that good?
Yep. Racing.
Yep, I was just talking about racing.
Yep.
Matter of fact, Rossi and Newgarden, they are so close right now. It is like neck and neck. I mean, Rossi's got him on every single category, but it's like 1 or 2 points or 1 or 2 laps. Or like 1 win. It's always he's got him by like 1 on everything, but it's really close.
Yeah, it's what a 7 point difference now. Right?
Well, if we can just keep on going with what I was saying, just say 1.
Just say 1. Yeah, right. I think the actual total point is 7 now.
Newgarden is leading in the category that counts.
That's right.
Is he really?
Yes.
But how long? For how long? Can
and how much, man, Missy?
Can he hold on to that?
Oh, it is by 7 points?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. That's what I was saying.
No, maybe. I wasn't. Not. Yes, I was. I was totally double checking your numbers. Well, I wasn't. Missy was, but I was using her as the medium to go through. Missy is my. She's my Missypedia.
Missypedia. I like it.
Oh,
I like it.
That's so funny.
I like it.
So we're going to start with Formula One.
Formula One. Yeah. Yes.
Formula
One.
Austria, the Red Bull.
Can I just say, what a race! What a race! That was easily the most exciting Formula One race we've had this year so far.
Max,
challenge that.
Max shouldn't have won. He should have got the penalty.
I'm just totally confused because the week before we see Vettel get penalized for sliding across the grass and back onto the track.
Right.
And then this week we see Verstappen, pretty much run off, Charles Leclerc off the track and nothing. I'm confused.
I think it's the name.
They said it was a racing incident. I'm like, okay.
And what was Vettel's intentional? He intentionally missed Hamilton on purpose to get that penalty. Max, I'm pretty sure he had contact, and no penalty. Rosberg doesn't even turn until he hits Hamilton. Then he turns, no penalty. Vettel does everything he can to save the car and not hit Hamilton. Penalty.
Now, wait. Now, I have a question for you then, Frank, because we've had this conversation before, and you have expressed that you feel NASCAR writes a script, right? If that is the case, then wouldn't you think it was a little too convenient that the Red Bull car wins at the Red Bull Ring?
It was right.
And why there was no penalty? Was that not good scripting?
No, that was it was inevitable.
Okay.
I mean, it's one of the.
Go on, proceed. Mm-hmm.
Well, okay, it's one of the shortest tracks on the schedule. It's got probably the most takeover opportunities out of all the tracks. Maybe Monza has more or the same, but it's a fast-paced track. There's a lot of good places to pass, I mean, Red Bull. Oh, plus it's a Honda win too, on top of everything else. Yeah,
first time since '98, I believe they said.
To be honest with you, I think it was more of a Honda having to win more than Verstappen. I don't think if it was anybody in if it was Verstappen or who's his teammate now, Missy.
Is it Pierre Gasly?
Pierre Gasly, yeah.
Yeah, like even if it was Gasly, I don't think they would have got the penalty because I mean, let's face it. I mean, Honda has probably had the most. I wouldn't say the worst time in F1 since they've come in over the last how many years? Has it been like 5? All right, since McLaren and all that. But they sure have been the most. What's the word? The most. You hear about the most. So So Honda has been the one engine manufacturer in F1 with the biggest spotlight on them, aside from Mercedes. I'll put it that way. Is that a good way to put it?
Fair. Mm-hmm.
So it being Honda, I think had more to do with it than Red Bull or Verstappen.
Okay.
And
all right, I just wanted to know what you thought because I know you claim that other series are scripting.
Well, I mean, when I mean, it's not like F1 is putting in competition yellow, so they they have a bigger chance of crashing more. So, I mean, if that's not scripted, I don't know what is. But I do believe that the race control did show some bias here on and sided with the what's better for the sport. Because I mean, what does everybody say about F1? What track is Hamilton / Bottas / a Mercedes going to win this week? Where are they racing? You know what I mean? That's pretty much the question right now. And they're trying to get away from that, I guess. I'm sure I would try to be if I was Formula One. I mean, I'm sure the brass up in F1 know it. And I'm sure race control knows it, and that's why if it's Vettel and Mercedes, then whatever, be stringent and strict and to the book because they're always there anyway. But when it comes down to Red Bull at the Red Bull Ring, and it being a Honda, I just think the race stewards pretty much said risk and reward here for the series. Sure, we'll take some heat, but there's nothing new.
Yeah,
but
no, I didn't mind it, to be honest. Though I do agree with Missy as to why is it called for one person and not another? But to be honest, I wasn't mad at it either, because it made for a heck of a race. I mean, he made that last pass to take the lead with 1.5 laps to go. Made it pretty exciting. Bummer for Leclerc, obviously. Everybody's still waiting for him to get his first win, and to be that close and it not to work out. But heck of a drive though from Max Verstappen. He had a terrible start and just worked his way up through the field.
Yeah,
great drive from him.
It reminded me a lot of Dixon. Excuse me. It reminded me a lot of Dixon's drive
at Road America.
Exactly. Yeah, go from last to, what was it, fourth?
Fifth, right? Yeah.
Top 5.
Yeah, from last to fifth. Except that I think Verstappen, the lowest he felt was 7th, and then back up to win the thing. So.
Right. I mean, like 7th in Formula One is, you might as well be a lap down.
Yeah, you might as well be yeah, it's true. It's true. So you might as well be last, right? Absolutely. So heck of a.
Actually, in this race, if you were in 6th place, you were a lap down.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No kid. So he can't. I mean, was Max a lap down ever? Or?
Oh, I don't know. I told you, I'm done with F1. I watched the highlights.
You're done. Just done.
I just watched the highlights of the race now. Which the highlights, they showed you lap 1, 4, then like 7, then 14, and then all of a sudden it was like lap 56. And I was like, wow, guess nothing happened between lap 14 and 56 of interest.
No, but just great job for Max, and plus it's nice to see some diversity on the top step of the podium. We were all, I like Lewis, but obviously it gets a little old after a while. Like, all right,
I seen Lewis locked up some tires. That was what.
Yeah, he was having some issues.
I was like, what was that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the medium tires weren't doing the trick for him. Yeah, he didn't. He had a problem with those medium tires, and hey, but I if that's what it takes, and what was interesting too was the Ferrari's move. That is the one thing I really do like about F1 is how they start to use both cars as part of a strategy. Okay, you pit now. Now you pit right now in order to keep the other guy right behind us, to keep him from coming out of the pits. I'm like, this is next level genius.
Yeah, that didn't work out too well for Vettel.
Yeah, it's
that was
cool.
A 6-second pit stop.
6 seconds, yeah.
That's like a lifetime in the pits in F1.
So it didn't quite work out for them, but just the coordination it takes to say, all right, you pit now, you pit now, and to try to, just work that team angle. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to see.
Yeah, trust me, it was definitely refreshing. I think refreshing is the best way to put it.
Yeah, definitely. I totally agree.
It was nice to see not a Mercedes 1 and 2. So.
Now,
they were on the podium. It would have been even better if they weren't on the podium at all. But
at all, right?
Well, let's not go crazy. That's near impossible. Now, okay. It's refreshing to see another driver win, but I don't. If it wasn't Verstappen, what driver or Leclerc? If it wasn't a Ferrari, Red Bull, or Silver Arrow, who would you like to see get it, Missy?
Daniel Ricciardo.
I was thinking the same thing, Christian.
I'd probably say Danny or Kimi, but this was actually kind of cool in that for a good chunk of the race, you saw a lot of teams up in that top 10 that weren't normally there. Alfa Romeo was in the mix for a little bit, and just a lot of cars that you don't normally see in those positions. So I know we're not going to see this kind of excitement for the rest of the season, so let's just hold on to this one. But Austria gets my pick right now as best race of the F1 season.
Best race of F1 season so far, huh?
That's right. Yeah. And I think it's the best race we're going to see for the rest of the year as well.
They didn't do Monza yet, did they?
No, we haven't. But I'm not expecting to see the diversity of the manufacturers the way it happened in this race. Like Alfa Romeo is going to go back to where they normally are. Everybody's going to go back to where they normally are. Let's be real, right? Right.
Well, I think Monza is another one of those tracks, even though it's the longest track that they race at. Maybe not the longest, but it's definitely the fastest. Hello? Hello?
Oh, hey.
Hey, what happened?
I think my internet's off there for a second.
Okay. That was one heck of a sound.
See? Shame on you.
Well,
he looked directly over at me and said, "What you do?"
No,
nothing.
You put your hands up and you looked at
nothing.
Me. You look guilty.
I didn't do anything.
You just look guilty. That's all.
You just looked guilty. Wow.
This is I'm female, isn't it?
No.
Just looked right at me and said, "What did you do?"
You leave Missy alone, sir.
Well, you know what? The train will mark 10, where I edit this out because of that sound. I'm going to edit the I'm going to edit the show from the sound before that.
Okay, works.
So
I guess we should go over since we've already discussed pretty much there's the train.
Are we discussing Pato, how he did in F2?
Oh, no, I want to throw out the Formula One.
Okay, so we're going to do the order.
Finish that up.
Missy, everybody say sorry, and then Missy count to 5, and then start doing your F1 roundup, who won and everything, and that's where I'll cut the edit and everything. So, hold on, I'll go, wait. So, Missy, do you have the finishing order for the F1 race?
Yes. So, the finishing order for the Red Bull Ring in Austria, which is the Grosser Preis von Österreich.
Good job, Miss. High five.
Yeah, that's right.
Smack. That was the weakest high five I ever got.
Well,
say it 5 times fast.
I was going to rip out. Yeah, no, that's okay. I said it once. So your winner was Max Verstappen, followed by Charles Leclerc, and Valtteri Bottas was your podium. Then we had Sebastian Vettel, Lewis Hamilton, Lando Norris, Pierre Gasly, Carlos Sainz, Kimi Räikkönen, Antonio Giovinazzi. In 10th. Next you had Sergio Perez, whatever. Daniel Ricciardo, Nico Hülkenberg, Lance Stroll, Alexander Albon, Romain Grosjean, Daniel Kvyat, George Russell, Kevin Magnussen, and Robert Kubica.
There it is. And there it is. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Biggest surprise out of, except for, Verstappen, biggest surprise as far as finishing order, Miss, who jumped out at you?
Lando Norris.
I have to agree. Where
Yep.
He finished 6th. And he had quite a few nice passes on people, and he was racing people for positions.
Yeah.
It was all in the highlight reel. Told you, F1, you don't get my viewing ship for the entire race anymore. I only view highlights now of you. You got to work your way back into my good graces.
You got to work your way back. Well, if they have more races like this, I'm sure they'll be back in your good graces soon enough.
How about you there, Christian?
Oh no, same. Great job for Lando Norris. Hopefully, you can keep that going. Like I said, I don't expect there to be this much diversity for the rest of the year, but if there is, hopefully, he can work his way back into some of those points positions. That's good stuff.
Right on, yeah. And Missy, what are the points for the series up to this point? Now, isn't this the beginning of their summer break? I believe. Because the next is no July 11th, July 25th, August 1st, August. I think Hungarian GP is their summer break because that's a.
So it's here. It is. It's I guess their summer break is after the. What race is this?
It looks like the Hungarian.
Yeah, Hungary. Hungary. Right.
Yeah, the Hungarian GP at the Hungaroring.
Yeah.
We got Germany
That's
GP and
August
the British
2nd,
GP.
and then they don't race again until August 30th, and that's a Belgian Grand Prix.
Now, okay, so after this, on the 11th, we got the British GP at Silverstone. And then after that, German GP at Nürburgring, I guess? Is this Nürburgring or is this Hockenheim? I don't know.
Germany?
Well, I mean, it's one or the other. Trying to see here.
Yeah, it's the Hockenheim ring.
Oh, yeah, it's just
Hockenheim.
It's just Hockenheim, yeah.
Hockenheim.
And then you got the it used to be oh yeah, Hockenheim ring they call it. Okay. Well, I mean, in Germany, any track is ring at the end of it. Well, unless you're in Hungary.
So I mean, the standings still look pretty much the same. I mean, Hamilton is still leading in the driver championship, followed by Valtteri Bottas.
How many points?
31.
Like, what's the totals?
Hamilton's 197, Bottas is 166, and then you have Max Verstappen with 126. Vettel has 123, and Charles Leclerc has 105. And then after that, it's a dramatic drop to 43 points for Pierre Gasly.
Jeez.
Wow. Where's Ricardo?
He is in 10th.
Ouch.
With 16 points.
16 points, Ricardo. Good God.
Well, it could be worse. He could be in a Williams car
Lance Stroll
who have 0 points apiece.
Yeah. We knew Williams was going to be in the back there. I think for them, like I said at the beginning of the year, it was more of just a heartwarming story for Robert Kubica making his way back after so long off after injury. I think that's what this season is about for them. I think everybody over there understands we're not going to be collecting any points. It's just yeah.
Yeah. How long are they going to be understanding?
Yeah. No. That's an excellent question. That is an excellent question.
This series not too long.
But you know what? It doesn't change my opinion though that I'm still very proud of what Robert Kubica has done. You don't hear too many drivers getting, basically just losing their seat due to injury or whatever reason, but then making their way back into an F1 seat. That just doesn't happen. So he's one of the few, even though it's with a last place team, he can still say, I did that, I was out and I came back and they let me. And yeah, so yeah, I'm still proud of him. And speaking of a few drivers that are trying to make their way back, I saw Esteban Ocon. Ocon is hoping for a ride with Mercedes for next year. He's on his comeback trail.
Esteban Ocon taking Valtteri Bottas spot, you're saying?
No, I just read this article, but
He did say Mercedes, right?
He's been doing some testing.
It's probably the one team I would shy away from doing anything.
But it says Mercedes boss Toto Wolff has made it clear he expects Ocon to get an F1 seat for 2020, although it is not clear where he will fit in.
See you later, Bottas. It's been good, nice knowing you.
You think so?
Ocon, yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh, that would be a terrible decision.
Oh, Valtteri Bottas was such a genius decision to begin with.
Esteban Ocon.
What is the difference between a Bottas and an Ocon if they're not in a Silver Arrow?
Bottas doesn't take out his teammate.
And Ocon does?
Yeah.
It was Perez.
And
Well,
he made a habit of it every week.
He was in a Force India.
It was like, my job this race is to take out my team. That's
my
how
objective.
I score points.
Well,
Mission accomplished.
he was in a Force India, and he was racing with Perez. I mean, I just watched Perez on TV, and I wanted to drive into him.
I mean, every week though. Good God, like let it go, dude.
Yes, every time I saw him. Like, you know, if I was in a car, I wouldn't hit the brake.
No, we'll see. We'll see though. So yeah, he's trying to make his way back.
Still can't get over how Perez can fit his big head in that car. I thought the Halo would be the end for him. I'm kidding.
But yeah, so yeah. Also making its return to Formula One, I see they are moving the race out of Sao Paulo and moving it to Rio de Janeiro. The track in Rio is coming back for 2020. The president of Brazil announced that the only way for them to have kept the race in Brazil was to move it to Sao Paulo. But now they have the means to move it back to Rio de Janeiro. So all the fans who were fans of that particular race being in Rio and everybody in Brazil, 2020 is your year. It's coming back to you.
Probably the best backdrop of a track ever. It's a really cool city.
So yeah, absolutely.
I am thinking of the right city, right? With the big statue.
Yes, okay. Yes, you are. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
yes, you are. But yeah. So that's that will be a change in the schedule next year.
So this will be the last race at the Autodromo Jose Carlos Pace.
Yeah.
So is this Interlagos then? Or are they at Interlagos in Brazil? Or am I totally in the wrong I'm in the wrong country, never mind. Moving on.
But yeah. So that's F1. Exciting weekend though. Let's keep that going. It probably won't, but we can hope. We got to get Missy back. We have to get Missy back.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? Silverstone can be a really good race if it's not, or if it's wet. Only if it's wet. Silverstone is a great track to watch in the wet, and it's England, so we have a good chance. England's like Seattle, but like a country.
Well, it's not that much bigger than Seattle, really. The whole country is not that much bigger than Seattle, but yeah.
I think you're wrong.
Yeah.
London's a lot bigger than Seattle, and London fits in England. I don't know if you know that.
I'm speaking figuratively, Frank.
So was I.
The country is the size of North Carolina.
Well.
And it is that the whole country is the size of North Carolina. But
I would say the Carolinas. I don't know, Missy.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, great. All right, on to Formula Doce. Bum, 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 bum.
Why are we talking about Formula Dulce?
What is there to say about Formula Dulce?
Pato stunk up the place. That's what it is. Is that what you want to talk about?
I wouldn't put it that way.
Sorry, Pato. You
Pato,
sucked.
Pato, love you,
I wouldn't have put it like that,
Yeah.
but yeah. Yeah.
No, I wouldn't have put it. I would have said, Pato landed, and yeah, big old Stanley Steamer.
Stanley Steamer.
Kidding.
I can't.
It's going to be a learning
Well,
curve.
he said it himself. Here's his quote. He says he never felt slower after a, excuse my language, ass whipping on his Formula 2 debut.
Wow.
He definitely didn't have the luck of the Irish. So close to Ireland.
I can't. I can't deal with Frank. This accent.
Last place.
Yeah. But no. Obviously, I mean, as Frank was saying, it's a learning curve for him.
Definitely.
And, which is to be expected, I'm sure. I just hope that the opportunity isn't dependent on how quickly he can get up to speed.
Oh, it is. In Formula Doce or Formula Uno, it 100% is that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you know what? Sometimes, I mean, let's face it. After bump day and all that, and I mean, Pato was riding a wave of just I am the S. Look at me go. And then the bump, but it really wasn't his fault. It was more the car. But then you go into a brand new car you've never driven before in a country. I don't know if he's ever been in the country before, but he's never raced on a circuit before. Definitely racing against competitors he's really never raced against before, except for Jordan King. But does that count? I don't think he's ever raced Jordan King, has he? Well, I guess he didn't get a chance since he got bumped. But it's a learning curve. Dead last, I wouldn't have thought dead last, but maybe it was a good humbling experience for him, and I'm sure he learned a lot. Pato does adapt very well, very quickly. So, did Senna win every race? No. I mean, Senna lost pretty bad here and there.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm not going to look too deep into it now. I mean, if he makes a habit of it, that's bad. You don't want to finish last every race. I know that much.
Well, Jordan King is his teammate, right? Where did he finish? Where did he finish? Just so I can get an idea for what the cars are capable of. Where did
he won?
Okay. Stop it, Frank.
Let's see.
I can't deal with it.
He was.
You are.
I know Pato wasn't last. So wait, there was 2 races this weekend.
Yeah, there were 2 races. Yeah.
All right, so race 1, Pato was dead last, and Jordan King was 8th.
Yep. And then race 2, Pato could barely sit down in the seat because his butt was so red after the spanking.
So race 2, Pato finished 14th
out of how many?
20.
All right.
And Jordan King finished 7th, his team.
All right, cool.
Okay, so it's a top 10 capable program.
Yeah, I mean...
Well, Jordan King's been over there for, what, 2... He went over there 2-3 years ago? He only raced 1 season, and was that USF 2000? Was it?
Well, I'm not sure. It's just...
For Cape?
Oh, well then, yeah, he probably did one. For Cape.
No, he didn't, but...
Well, you know what I mean.
He did race for Kate for like 1 year.
I mean, the thing with racing with Formula 2 is even if you win the championship, it's not like, well, all right, off you go to F1 then. It doesn't work that way. Then that's the biggest problem with F1's feeder series. It's like, I mean, who won F2's championship last year? Do you know? Probably not. I guarantee he's not in F1.
No, I have no idea.
I really hope he's not in F1. Because I don't know who won it. But as far as the new names that came into F1, this year, I don't remember hearing that any of them were, the F2 champion last year.
Something good for you to look up, Frank.
You know what? That's your job.
Frank's got homework. You got homework, Frank.
Missy's trying to find it. She can't find it. That's why she said that. Right, Missy?
How dare you?
Mm-hmm. So anyway, the stand.
You're a liar. He is in Formula 1.
Who?
According to this 2018 F2 championship was...
Can you talk a little louder there, Miss?
Yes.
Thank you.
George Russell?
Who?
Oh, yeah, George Russell. Okay.
Is he in F1?
Yeah.
Yes.
For who?
Mm-hmm.
Williams.
Oh, well.
He's in F1. You just asked the question. I bet you he's not in F1. Never heard of him.
Well, he's in Williams. You might as well not be.
And actually, Charles Leclerc was
That's harsh, Frank.
I know.
He said Williams, you might as well not be. That's harsh.
It is a bit harsh, I know. It was a joke, It's a joke. Just joking. Just joshing. Okay, moving on. Pato, good luck. Like I said, good luck to him and all that. And the next race for F2 is, I mean, he's coming in like not even middle of the season. I mean, he's coming in like, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 6 events left. He came in like literally the dead center of the series or of the season. So, he didn't get any points. So, and Silverstone is their next race. So, we'll see how he does in Silverstone. So anyway, how did Jordan King? Yeah, 4th and then okay. So moving on. I guess headline news for Road to Indy. Any headline news for Road to Indy before we jump into the Indycar real quick?
I don't think so.
I haven't heard anything new either. Because there was not an event or anything since. Yeah. So. All right. They'll be racing in Toronto, and again, Parker's in second, placing points there for Indy Pro 2000. So Toronto is a huge race for him. So that's going to be huge. It's really going to be the 2 races to look forward to for that series. What, Missy? Go ahead. IMSA. Oh, Missy's got some IMSA news. Go ahead, Miss. It's about her vets, and there's a Porsche leading a vet right there, so she must not be happy. Go ahead. What?
Oh, this is terrible news. My boy Tommy Milner was injured.
Oh, no.
In his accident in the opening lap.
Of what race? It was Watkins Glen, right?
Glen.
What happened? Did the Porsche take him out in lap 1?
Unfortunately, no. I cannot blame a Porsche this time around.
Oh, it's about time.
Surprisingly.
I know. I'm shocked. Really?
Oh, wait a minute.
Uh-oh.
Following a first lap crash. Never mind. It was a goddamn Porsche. I swear to God, I hate you guys so much. I hate the Porsche so much.
Language.
Yep. Following a first lap crash with Porsche's Lorenz Van Thor. Of course. And now my boy has a hand injury and will be sidelined.
Oh, maybe they'll win now.
How dare you? How dare you?
No, I hope he's okay, really. Sideline for what? Like one race?
Well, that's what they're saying, I guess. Sideline by hand injury.
I only said that just to mess with Missy, by the way. I really hope
make way.
Is okay.
So Marcel Fassler is going to be driving in the Canadian Tire Motorsport Park race.
Or like his close friends like to call him Marco Fastler. No, that's it. Yeah, I know. That was a bad one.
Remember to tip your waitress. Frank Linker is here all week, people.
Make sure you try your waitress and tip the bill. Go move on.
So I guess we should go over Watkins Glen. The Mazda DPI was the winner in the DPI class. The drivers of Jonathan Bomarito, Harry Ticknell, and Oliver Pla was your winner.
Oliver Pla.
And followed in second by another Mazda DPI, Oliver Jarvis, Tristan Nunez, and Timo Bernard. And then in third was the Acura DPI of Juan Pablo Montoya and Dane Cameron. And then, let's see, you had your GTLM category. Oh, well, look who's in first. That's because they take other people out. The stupid, ugly Porsche 911 RSR of Patrick Pilet and Nick Tandy.
Oh, my.
Followed by Corvette number 3 of Jan Magnussen and Antonio Garcia. And Ryan Briscoe and Richard Westbrook in the Ford GT. And then we have, after that, we have the GTD category. Your winner was in the Acura NSX GT3, driven by Mario Farnbacher, Trent Hinderman, and Justin Marks. And second was the BMW M6 GT3 of Bill Auberlin, Robbie Foley, and Dylan McCharvin. That sounds close enough.
Yeah, it's not even.
And in third was the Ferrari 488 GT3 of Cooper McNeil, Tony Valander, and Jeff Westphal.
Right on. I've never heard of any of those names. Am I alone here?
No, Frank, you're not. You're not alone.
Right. Yeah. Boy, has IMSA lost me. And they're really going to lose me even more when I see what GTLM looks like next year. Or what it's not going to look like next year. However you want to say that. It's going to get even worse. Yep.
So, yeah, that was the Watkins Glen this past weekend.
Yep.
Great track. It's a 6-hour race, right?
Yep, 6-hour doors. It's 6 hours at the Glen.
Okay.
Yep.
I won tickets for that one year, and I regret not being able to go. Yeah.
We were there a few times. I interviewed Michael Shank there 2 years in a row. Missy and I. Thanks to Sean Lucas. Thanks, Sean. Appreciate you, buddy.
All right, so moving on to some IndyCar. No race this weekend.
Oh.
Is that?
No, there was no race.
No race this weekend.
No race this past weekend. No race this coming weekend. Next race is July 12th through the 14th weekend, which is Toronto. But interesting news that I don't even want to mention this, but forced to.
Do we need to?
I don't
who
feel
doesn't
like
know
hearing
about
it from Frank's smart little mouth. But
Well,
so this week, this Toronto race, Carlin Racing has hired Sage Karam to compete in their car while he partners with Max Chilton. This is going to be Sage's first road street course start in IndyCar since 2015.
wow. Mm-hmm. Okay. So are we excited, or are we?
No.
What are we?
Numb.
We're numb. Why are we numb, Frank?
Let's not go down this road.
Connor Daly should be in there. If anything.
I agree. Connor Daly should be there, not Sage Karam. But hey, Sage Karam has their fan base, and drivers have that. So.
Did you hear that Marcus Ericsson had a test for Alfa Romeo Formula
He
1?
did with Pirelli, yeah.
It was interesting.
I did see that.
But he says he's super happy in IndyCar, and he's really enjoying that experience. And at the same time, he was really happy to still have the connection in F1.
You never say no. As a driver, you never say no to any opportunity. So I'm not looking too deep into it.
Okay.
Plenty of drivers have tests for F1 that that doesn't materialize in much, but a lot of times that they do not use their own drivers to do tests, so it's not that big of a deal. And I mean, you can't. You don't race 100 Grand Prix in Formula One before you come over here, and then don't have a bunch of connections over in F1. It just doesn't exist. So there's plenty of connections that you make in that amount of time. Even though Rossi, I don't remember Rossi having a test over in F1 since he's got here, but
I don't believe that's true.
I'm probably wrong.
I think he did.
Like
the first year he was in IndyCar, I believe he did have a test still with Sauber.
That's one heck of a memory you got there if you remember that, and I will not challenge you on that at all.
I think. I'm sure someone will correct me if I'm wrong. How about Scott Dixon did a sim test.
Yes, and if you would like to see the sim test, we retweeted it today. The full sim test.
You tested out the IndyCar arrow screen.
Yeah. Was it a few tracks?
Yeah, I saw that on YouTube, yeah.
Yep. And the full test, like I said, from beginning to end, from the viewpoint of Scott Dixon. I think he had a GoPro on his helmet, I believe. Yep. And you can find that on our Twitter feed. Missy, where can they find that at?
That would be www.theindysportscarpodcast.com.
Right on. And, now, since we're doing plugs, Christian, where can they find that great piece of literature, buddy?
Oh, thank you. My Life and Story, The Outside Groove, forwarded by the legendary Willie T. Ribbs, can be found on Amazon.com, Barnes & Noble, Books A Million, Kodo, Books A Million, Walmart.com, theindysportscar.com, and
other fine retailers.
And also looking forward to the release of Faster and Faster, forwarded by Robbie Unser, our good friend here of the show, as well. So excited to see. I think he's going to be running Pikes Peak this year, so we'll see how Robbie does. Him and also Paul Gerard, another friend of the show. See how they all do at Pikes Peak.
Yep, absolutely. You're right. I think they did test a couple of different tracks.
Yeah.
For the arrow screen. Looks like they have here.
Did I
Indy,
even say Pikes Peak?
Texas, Iowa, Barber, and Long Beach. Yes, he said Pikes Peak.
Speaking of Pikes Peak, we lost a racer at Pikes Peak over the weekend. A motocross racer got into a bad wreck at Pikes Peak last week. So
jeez.
Yeah, it was very sad to see.
No, never.
Our hearts go out to his family. I'm sorry, I don't have his name. However,
Carlin Dunn.
There you go. So that, you know what, a little moment of silence for Carlin Dunn, and we're all family here, racing family. Whenever we lose a family member, it hurts no matter what form of racing that is, you know.
Right.
So do a little moment of silence for him. And they're all right. I mean, you know, it just it sucks, and it just kind of brings you back to reality. That, you know, guys, this is a sport. It's a dangerous sport, and you know, it's gotta be. Sometimes you just gotta remember that. So.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Like I said, you know, thoughts and prayers out to his family, definitely. All right. All right. Did Dixon have a quote afterwards? I did see that he said that there is no issue looking out of the arrow screen as far as like everybody was worried about the changeover from looking through the arrow screen to maybe like on like a banked oval or something. And
I see he had a couple quotes, but the one here he has, honestly, I think it's going to be almost exactly the same as what we have, unless you look up and look where you normally don't, you're not going to notice it. The AFP, which is the advanced frontal protection, the nubbin, is already pretty high, and this is exactly where your line of sight currently is. The new system is exactly the same thickness. Getting in the car is the only difference that we'll notice, and once you're belted in, visually it will be almost exactly the same. He has the biggest concern, which was a bit of a myth, and I'm not really sure how it got started, was the halo and how it would not be useful on an Indycar because of the line of sight on ovals, such as high bank stuff like Texas. Definitely with this design doesn't impede that.
Okay. And really, Texas is the only one I could think of that was maybe Poconos turn 1. That's pretty.
Is he pushing for a halo?
I think Dixon was just like referencing, well, because it basically is a halo. It's a halo with the screen wrapped around it. Really, I mean, that's what I see. That's what everybody's seen. I mean, I haven't heard anybody say anything different about it. Whenever it's brought up, it's like, well, it looks like a halo with the windscreen wrapped around it. I'm like, well, yeah, pretty. It's the best way to describe it.
No, I like Missy's nubbin.
Yeah, the nubbin.
Yeah, the nubbin. Yeah. That's been my favorite way of describing it so far. Yeah.
Tell you what, like, you know, iRacing with it is weird looking at first, and then after lap 1, you don't even notice it. Mm-hmm. So, but you know, it's, you know, it might not be the most visually appealing thing, but in the name of safety, looks come second.
absolutely. Completely agree.
Might sound like
whatever keeps the drivers getting back in each week.
Exactly. Might sound like a bunch of hypocrites since we've killed F1 for their halo, but hey, now it's...
No. You killed F1 for their halo. I was for it. You, Frank. You.
Well, it was just another thing. It was just another thing that I could kill F1 for. So
it looks like a flip flop. I remember these conversations. Right?
Come on, they had flip flop sponsors on. So why don't you back up off me with the flip flop thing? This obviously doesn't look like a flip flop because there's a windscreen there. I don't know any type of a flip flop that stops your foot from actually going through the flip flop.
Yeah. I hear you, buddy.
Here's a weird story that I'm seeing on Motorsport. Did you know that Davison reveals throat grabbing incident with Indy star Will Power back in 2001?
What?
Yeah. Apparently, supercar star Will Davison has revealed that he once was grabbed by the throat during a heated exchange with rival-turned-friend Will Power.
Okay, well, I don't know who Will Davison is. I thought you meant James Davison when you said it. When you first said Davison, and Will, I was like, what?
No, this is Will Davison. Davison.
Yeah, I don't know who Will Davison is, but
apparently he's a supercar star.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah. Anyway,
do you guys get into the V8 supercars at all?
Used to when they would, air it here.
Yeah.
Thanks, Speed. Really enjoyed those races, but yeah, Fox and Fox are liars. It's like, hey, Fox, I haven't seen a supercar race since you took over. Like you said, you weren't going to, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's interesting though. I don't know, something about Will Power's face. I can't picture him in a scuffle. I just can't see it.
Yeah, it says the two young Aussies spent much of their junior careers rubbing wheels, starting with a fierce battle for the Australian Formula Ford title in F1 2001, and continuing when the pair both raced in British Formula 3 a couple of seasons later. According to Davison, the peak of the rivalry was a heated exchange during a British F3 round at Donington that resulted in Power grabbing him by the throat.
I can't see it.
Davison also reckons... Okay. He also reckons there were mind games going on when the duo famously tested a Minardi F1 car at Misano together in 2004, claiming Power had the running order changed to get the more favorable conditions. Quote, we had some full-on battles in British F3, Davison told the V8 Sleuth podcast. Oh, no, I just promoted a podcast. What do I do? He grabbed me by the throat once at Donington when I'd run him off down the back straight. So you ran him off the track, and you're surprised he grabbed you by the throat. Okay. He grabbed me by the throat once. I just said that. I remember him running from 200 meters away, screaming at me, going, I would never do that to you. He was screaming and running towards me, and he pretended to punch me in the face. Okay. All right. He pretended to punch me in the face. So, what was it like? Oh, okay. I mean, did Davis take a dive afterwards? Okay.
Yeah,
it was intense. The F1 test together there was funny buggers going on. There was funny buggers going on. I was not meant to drive the car first. He was meant to drive it in the morning. I was in the afternoon. It was super cold, 0 degrees. He thought he was going to be the unfair disadvantage. The next thing, there's a few phone calls. I got told you're going to be in the car in 30 minutes. Get in the car. Snap, snap. Despite the drama, Davison reckons he and Power always had a good relationship, which has turned into a great friendship since their careers took different paths. We never really fell out. We just pushed each other to great heights. Added Davison, I've never had anything but massive respect for him. Even the last 10 years we spent often and were very open with each other. He speaks to me more openly than a lot of other people because we can download, we can vent. We have some amazing chats. I'm Will's biggest fan.
Oh,
That's so adorable.
Isn't that special?
I mean, Will backhanded me in the chest once.
What?
True story.
You took a chop?
Yeah. Yeah. It was a week after I thought I had hurt his broken hand that he faked that he had after I shook it.
Oh.
At Pocono. Then I saw him again a week later in Mid Ohio, and I apologized again. He was like, "I was just messing with you, mate." Smack. Yeah, that was fun.
Wow.
That was a fun of it. Yep. So yeah, I thought that was interesting. So yeah, that's a story on motorsport.com if you'd like to go read it. Written by Andrew von Leeuwen. Leeuwe. I've never seen so many vowels. Leeuwen. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 vowels and 3 continents. 1, 2, yeah. Right on. So yeah, it was on the 26th of June. Yep. And a very young, svelte willpower. A picture of a very young svelte willpower next to, I guess, this guy's Davison. I'm going to guess. But Davison's smiling and Will's like, yeah, I'm going to grip this guy by the throat.
Wow.
Yep. So anyway, yeah, any other news, Missy, that we haven't gone over? That we need to go over?
No.
Yeah. I don't see anything else either. Yeah, it's the... I don't know, Christians, any other news that you wanted to talk about that we haven't gone over?
No, I think we covered... Yeah, we covered a lot.
Sure did. Just wanted to apologize for the sound quality the last few weeks, guys. Finally got that all taken care of and all that. So, yeah. Just, trial and error. So, all right. Plugged everything, and yeah. So, looking forward to Toronto, and everybody have yourselves a safe 4th of July. Don't burn yourselves cooking the hot dogs and everything, or setting off fireworks.
Yes.
And don't try to do both at the same time. It makes the hot dogs taste all gunpowdery. And on that note,
you know that I know that Frank and Christian, everyone knows we still have another week off of IndyCar racing.
Ooh.
No. Happy 4th, everybody.